Okay, Schmooze here. This is Brian, and I am with the king of pop culture, Gary Sohmers. And I just want to say, I just want to give you a few plugs. I met Adam West because of this guy, Gigi Edgley, going to his Comic Cons, and I will say his Comic Cons are some of my favorite Comic Cons to go to. Amazing shows that you put on. All the staff is always friendly. It's kid friendly, and you know, you don't have to stand in line 3 hours to get a signature, and free parking is so much here in Massachusetts. I recommend going to any of Gary's events or shows. His Comic Cons are the best. And Gary, what made you start doing Comic Cons? I think you quit for a while when it started again. Is that correct?
I'm really old, and I started doing.
No, let him lie to you. He's 35.
Going on 30. Jeez, I was 35 once. I started producing Comic Con type events back in the 1980s. For those of you that are young, that was in the 20th century. And what happened was we as collectible dealers were always looking for places to go, aggregate so an audience could come and buy our stuff. So I was the promoter. I would charge admission to get in. It used to be, $25 for a table, and now at some places it's $400 for a table. Our shows are more about the collectibles and the fun stuff, and not so much about the seriousness of it. I mean, you can have so many panels about things like that, but we would rather, having fun doing puppetry or gaming.
Yeah, you have Bill Diamond that does live puppetry, and he even allows the kids to get up there and put their hands in puppets.
Part of the show aspect of going to a show is you being entertained. So we try and make our shows entertaining. So in the 80s, I did the shows. We had the Bayside Expo Center in Boston here. We did a lot of shows there. In 1990, we did the first Lost in Space cast reunion.
Oh, wow.
And like 20,000 people showed up. And we've never experienced anything like that before. And we were charging $40 for the entire cast of Lost in Space autograph.
That is amazing.
So it was just setting the trend. My theory was, in 1986, that, if we get a celebrity to do our show, we would get the local media to cover us because it's a celebrity in Boston. Who would have thought? So in 1986, I talked to a friend, Adam West, and I talked him into coming.
Wait, what year was this now?
86.
You've known Adam West forever.
Forever.
Yeah, exactly.
And in 1986, Adam West couldn't get any work. It was 20 years after Batman. He was a has-been. There was no autograph business. He could still, if he wanted to, go to car shows dressed as Adam West. It was very convenient. He chose not to do that anymore. And he was kind of like, how do I, what do I do? And I says, well, why don't you come out, you sign autographs for $10 an autograph, and you'll make a lot of money. You'll make $1,000.
Well, see, Gary, you actually started a very genius idea because you're connecting. Even Adam West, everybody grew up watching Batman. You have thousands and millions of fans. So Gary provides a way of fans getting to meet these childhood stars they grew up with. You're like the middleman putting them together.
Well, the thing was, Adam's curiosity was, well, what do I say? What do I do? I says, you sit there and accept their adulation. Everyone's want to come up to you and thank you for what you did for them. They're not asking you for anything. They're willing to pay you to thank you.
Absolutely.
And so that was what the model is. And in the first weekend, he made like $10,000. He was just shocked.
Wow.
And so I started doing more and more events, and through many different venues. I reunited the Munsters cast with Al and Yvonne.
The Christmas Story, you
had
all of them.
Recently. I'm talking about the 80s and 90s.
Oh, wow.
All these old nostalgia shows, but then there's a nostalgia curve. You got to keep up with the nostalgia curve in the marketplace. So in 1998, I did the Willy Wonka cast reunion, and I did cast reunions all the way up to 2001, when 9/11 happened. But after 9/11 happened, no one wanted to travel, no one had any money to spend.
Wow.
The whole marketplace changed and crashed. And so I was already at that time on Antiques Roadshow. I'm in the middle of my 13 seasons on Antiques Roadshow, so I didn't continue producing shows. I was doing television. I was doing appraisal work for people like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And for Pixar and for Disney and people like that. So I really didn't need to be going back into the
Exactly.
shows. So many years ago, I found that the marketplace had changed. There was a demand for shows like I used to put on. So I decided,
So you brought
hey,
it back.
Spanky, let's put on a show. Well, that's going to cost me a lot of money, but the idea was to go back to the fun, all-inclusive, collectible shows, and that's what I like to do. Really vintage stuff, really modern stuff, and then fun fan stuff.
Well, the word fun keeps on popping up. We got a minute left. We're getting around time here, but the word fun keeps on popping up, and I've had so much fun at every one of your Comic Cons. It's been a blast. Every person I've brought there, I'm just telling you, people watching this,
Our motto is,
you need to come out and check his show out.
it's guaranteed not boring, and there's free parking. And where do you find not boring and free parking in the same place?
Northeast Comic-Con, absolutely.
June, Father's Day weekend in June every year, first weekend of December in June. Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington, Mass. Family-friendly environment. Lots of guys in fezzes walking around, and it's just fun, and it's free parking.
I'm going to be there. Gary's going to be there. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Always fun. Stay
Awesome.
groovy.